salute. Salute to God, the Most High, the creator of everything. Y'all know how the intro go. If y'all like the video, then I don't have to ask y'all or advise y'all to hit that subscribe button and like button. I know y'all good enough to do it. All right, trolls on the God of your mama can love you one time. Yeah. And we got to give it up to God, the Most High. You know what I'm saying? 2 salutes. Oh, we back at it again. One half of the Black Charlie Jerks, y'all. We're back again at Burning Joints USA, not Turning Point USA. Burning Joint USA, because we going to burn this joint down. That's what we going to do. We going to burn this joint down today. That's what we going to do, y'all. Debunking Charlie Kirk's anti-black rhetoric, y'all. So before I get started, I always have to give my disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? On this platform, we have what we call the cool white folk. You know what I'm saying? And those are the people that's just as diverse as us, that love everybody, that judges everyone by content and character, not the complexion of your skin. You know, we rock out with y'all. We always want you to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? We want you to know that you have a home here. You are loved. We are brothers and sisters, regardless of skin color. And I never, ever want you guys to get offended. So you are exempt from this. You're exonerated. But I do want you to stick around for entertainment purposes. All right? Now, we also have what we call white people, race soldiers, you know what I'm saying, or racist white people. We'll use those terms. We are talking about the racist core of your demographic, you know, of the demographic of people within your community who practices this ignorance, who passes down this racism. Okay, so we talking to the neo-Nazis, we talking to the white Christian evangelicals, we talking to the white supremacists, we're talking to the white nationalists, and so forth, all right? Aryan Nation, KKK, all of that. All right, so with that being said, here we go, y'all. Here we go. We gonna dive right in. This is taken directly from Turning Point USA. All right, and this is Charlie Kirk shreds the myth of systemic racism. Here we go. We gonna debunk, y'all. We gonna debunk. And by the way, welcome home, brother in the cut. We'll see you on the set soon.
Hello. Oh. Be respectful, guys. You can do what he wants. Oh, can I start now? Oh. Nice to meet you, Charlie. I'm a big fan. I think you're a very beautiful man. I admire you physically. But, no homo. I did have a question. Something I don't find very interesting about you, something I find kind of repulsive, is that I believe you said that the Civil Rights Act was bad and that we shouldn't have that. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like you as much as Charlie, though. First of all, what's your name? Sorry. I don't want to be, like, filmed and stuff. I'm anonymous, number one. Anonymous guy. Well, hello. Nice to meet you, Anonymous. Thank you. Nice to meet you, too. Yeah, I believe in part of the essence of the Civil Rights Act went way too far, way too wide. Oh, how did it go too far? Well, for example, it created an entire civil rights leviathan that gave us affirmative action. Civil rights leviathan? What do you mean? Yeah, so if you can let me finish three words in. Sorry. It allowed the Department of Justice to go after people that have different skin color, aka white people, and prevent them from getting jobs in college admissions. You have a job. I'm sorry. You have a job. No, you're right, I do. Right, but just until Trump came around, until the Supreme Court decision, thanks to the Civil Rights Act, if you have white skin color, it's much harder to get into a college than if someone has black skin color. Much harder. You have to have higher test scores. It's a much harder pool, largely thanks to the precedent set by the Civil Rights Act. Not to mention all the trans stuff that we're seeing. We're seeing men be able to win trophies and medals from women across the country, and they use the Civil Rights Act to justify it. Okay, I think I see where you're coming from. So you think that it's harder for white people because of black people, they can have lower tech scores and get them. It's not what I think. It's the fact. That's what you're saying. Okay. All right. Well, I guess what I would say too. I think. Perhaps you're familiar with the term equity, right? Where different people have different circumstances. It's Marxism. I reject. Okay. Well, whether you reject it or not, I think it's a prescient concept in this argument, because what you have to understand is that when you're, for example, you're born in like a black name, you're born in like O Block or something, like a very like a. You don't know what O Block is? Oh, well, if you're born there, if you're born in a very poor area like that, with like very low economic opportunity, very poor schools, or very low ratings, with average test scores much lower, when you're in that environment, you have the whole system up against you, right? So, when you say in that kind of circumstance, when you're facing the whole, I guess, leviathan of systemic racism, so would you say that? Sorry, let me just finish. When you say it's fair to, for example, lower the standard because knowing that their circumstances were like that, perhaps based on what they had was presented to them, they had the correct amount of merit to get into a school. Okay, so are you a student here? I'm guessing you are. Oh, yeah, I'm a student here. Are you a pretty good student? Oh, yeah, I would say I'm a good student. I have a pretty high GPA. Okay. Yeah. Can you give your GPA to her because she's a woman of color, please? Oh, well, you want me to give you a... Well, I mean, I can. Would you be willing to do that? Yeah, sure.
Notice how he just automatically assumes, he just picks someone black out of the crowd and automatically assumes that she has a very low IQ. You know, y'all follow along. We've heard D.E.I, we've heard the Civil Rights Act, we've heard We're gonna hear affirmative action.
Yeah, sure. You cool with that?
Yeah,
So,
I'm fine. Wait, you mean
I want you.
like tell her or like
no,
give it to her?
by force.
Like we're swapping it.
Let me tell you what I'm gonna
Okay.
do. By force, white man.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take your GPA. I'm gonna give it to a woman of color.
Okay.
You're cool with that?
I mean, I can just work back up. Like,
There's no working
hey,
back
bro,
up.
I can pull myself up on my bootstraps.
No, there's no working back up.
What do you mean you can't work back up? That's the whole point of conservatism,
I'm
isn't it?
gonna keep on taking it from you because that's equity, and you're cool with that.
What? But that's not
This is equity in practice.
Equity isn't taking. Equity is applying the equal standard.
If you give, how do you get? You must take and then you give.
Wait, what do you mean?
That which is given must.
That right there, you must take, then you give. And he's gonna go on and say, that which is given must first be taken. See, this is that white nationalist, that white Christian evangelical core of ladies and gentlemen, listen, this is easy to debunk, and we're gonna debunk it right here today.
Be taken.
Well, what's being taken?
Well, in this case, grades from you to grades to her.
No one's taking.
By force, white man.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna take your GPA. I'm gonna give it to a woman of color.
Okay.
You're cool with that?
I mean, I can just work back up. Like,
There's no working
hey,
back
bro,
up.
I can pull myself up on my bootstraps.
No, there's
What do
no
you mean?
working back up.
What do you mean you can't work back up? That's the whole point of conservatism,
I'm
isn't it?
gonna keep on taking it from you because that's equity, and you're cool with that.
What? But that's not.
This is equity in practice.
Equity isn't taking. Equity is applying the equal standard.
If you give, how do you get? You must take and then you give.
Wait, what do you mean?
That which is given must first be taken.
Well, what's being taken?
Well, in this case, grades from you to grades to her.
No one's taking my grades though. That's not what affirmative
it's
action
called.
is.
Hold on a second.
No one takes your grades.
Hold on a second. If you only have so many, positions at University of South Florida to come in, right? There's a set number. Let's say it's 20,000 people, okay? And we're gonna say we're gonna lower the test standards so that somebody that's a woman of color can come in, and therefore it's harder for you. So it's a higher bar for you, lower bar for them. Definitionally, that's a redistribution of test scores to somebody else, just by the definition. And you're okay with that?
Well, I guess I would ask then, if we were to do what you're doing, I guess that's what's happening under Trump, right?
Well, no, it's actually been happening the last 40 years.
Okay, actually, yeah, whatever. Okay, so when you say that, if you do that, then, well, black people aren't going to get into school, and then they won't be able to uplift themselves, they won't be able to have prosperous families, they won't be able to, equalize the economic status, because you need to give them a little jump start. You know what, you have a car, right?
How is that? Well, no, now I know you are.
No, it's good.
Well, no, how has that worked the last 40 years? We've had robust affirmative action.
No.
We've had hiring practices. Has it made black America more successful?
I can answer that easily. It's because sorry. It's because sorry. What am I going for?
I don't know.
You're a funny guy. So what happened is, even after the Civil Rights Act, you know what? I believe the term is massive resistance. It was a movement in after the Broad versus Board of Education in Virginia, where essentially the legislature, which was still white supremacist, which is still extremely racist, they decided that no, we're going to do everything that feasibly possible within our means to stop black people from going to white schools. You even see this in I believe it was the Little Rock Nine, right? Even after it was legalized at the state level, white supremacist mobs still mobilized to prevent it. So even if it de facto it's gone, de jure it still exists.
Let me ask you a very simple question. A term you keep on throwing around.
Got you.
What is racism?
What is racism? Ooh, that's a very complicated question. But no,
It's not complicated. Point to Charlie and say, you racist bastard. That would have been that was too easy. I would have pointed at him and said, you racist jerk.
It's not.
I mean, there's a simple answer, and then there's the highly theoretical answer.
Give me the
simple answer will essentially be because we have like different skin colors, that he's treated a different way than me. He has like a different upbringing than me.
No, but what is racism in practice?
It's discrimination.
Based on the color of the skin.
Based on the color of the skin, yeah.
Got it, thank you. So isn't it racist then to penalize white people to come into college or to get jobs based on the color of their skin?
Well, no.
Wouldn't that be racist? So you're arguing for a very racist policy, which is that we should actively discriminate against people based on the color of their skin, which is affirmative action and DEI in practice.
I just disagree with the premise that you can do like anti-white racism because
Wait, can you be racist against white people?
No, bro, I'm a cracker, bro. What the no, you can't be racist towards white. Bro, there's so many crackers here, bro.
Okay, we're going to start right there and salute to this young man for standing up in the paint. All right, now, this is easy to debunk. The whole time he's making it seem like DEI and affirmative action is actually hindering white women, white people from getting into colleges. Now, Charlie Kirk never shows up with receipts. But don't worry, y'all. I have a faithful consultant. A very faithful consultant. Yep, it's called Google. So, like I always say, the lie should have quit when the internet hit. What race benefited from DEI the most? Now, we heard what Charlie just said. We heard what Charlie Jerk said, right? And based on what I'm finna give you, his argument and his substance was deader than he is. Watch this. Multiple studies indicate that white women have proportionally benefited from diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, including affirmative action programs that laid the groundwork for modern DEI efforts. What was he doing at these colleges? Why wouldn't he go get the paperwork? Huh? Why go around here and spew lies when it's right there at the click of a button, ladies and gentlemen? It's this easy. And y'all wonder why we can't stand this racist clown? Huh? Y'all wonder why we can't stand this racist clown, man? Real talk. Real talk. Key findings of the benefits for white women. Affirmative action gains. Research shows that... I have a cough drop in my mouth, y'all. Research shows that white women have been the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action policies since the 1970s. For example, a 1997 estimate found that at least 6 million women, many of them white, held positions they would not have otherwise obtained without affirmative action. This is because the policies have outlawed gender-based discrimination in fields that were previously dominated by men. All right, here we go again. Corporate leadership roles. While DEI programs are often framed as helping racial minorities, a Forbes analysis found that white women hold nearly 19% of all C-suite positions, compared to just 4% held by women of color. Our research has consistently found that the largest gains of leadership have been among white women. All right, and that's just DEI. Hell, we also heard what? Affirmative action. Didn't we hear affirmative action? So I had to go back to my consultant, y'all, and I Googled what race benefited from affirmative action the most. Right there, y'all. Right there. Let's see what it says. According to sociological research, while affirmative action policies are popularly associated with racial minorities, white women have benefited the greatest beneficiaries of these policies in both education and the workplace. Benefits for white women. Increased access to higher education. Affirmative action helped increase the share of women earning bachelor's degrees, and today women receive a majority of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. In the early years of the policy, before the full inclusion of race-based measures, white women saw a disproportionate surge in college admissions. But this is y'all leader, though. This is y'all Jesus. This is y'all Jesus. Roll back his tomb, see if he's still there, y'all. Y'all sure he ain't rise on the third day? Y'all sure? Y'all sure? All right. Occupational advancement. A 1995 U.S. Labor Department report found that affirmative action helped 6 million women move into higher occupational classifications compared to 5 million minority workers. Analysis showed that white women have seen significant gains in higher paying managerial, you know, black people can't talk, managerial, professional, and technical jobs, inroads in corporate leadership. Decades of affirmative action helped pave the way for white women to enter corporate leadership at a far greater rate than women of color. One analysis found that from 2020 to 2022, white women expanded their share of senior leadership jobs at twice the rate of women of color. Y'all are letting this man show up to these colleges, harass these kids, don't have no facts, no research, no receipts, nothing to show. And y'all are praising him and flying a damn flag at half-mast because a dead, lying, racist bigot is no longer among us? I told you, this ain't Turning Point USA. This is Burning Joint USA. We gonna burn this joint down with the truth. If it was okay for him to exercise his First Amendment right and spread this hateful, inaccurate, anti-black bigotry, then the least we can do is come behind him and show him how to clip around his own doorstep first and foremost. You know, this proves right here. I let you hear the whole entire clip, and it took me, the clip was long. It took the clip longer to play than me debunking his lie. White women. All those white women back there clapping, ignorant as hell, didn't even know that they were direct beneficiaries of these policies that was made for people of color and minorities. Again, those white racist people always find a way to tear things down or gain an advantage. We can't even have an HBCU. Y'all think it's only black people out of HBCU? Huh? But they get mad if one of us move into their suburbs, into their gated communities. You know, but they want to be included everywhere. DEI and affirmative action help white women, LGBTQ, more than it helped anyone of color. Anyone of color. Oh, I told you, we gonna burn it down. We gonna burn it down. I don't understand why you go around and fabricate the truth and spread these myths, because this is dangerous. This is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best example I can give you of a low IQ. This brother had the low, he was just a waste, y'all. To me, he was a waste, and I mean, it makes no sense at this point. Definitely a low IQ, y'all. That was just as dumb. That's like showing up to a graveyard and taking everybody's pulse, taking everybody's vitals that's in the graveyard. This is how stupid his argument was, because it was easy to debunk. And listen, if you're dead, why do you need a vital check? Why? Your vitals are exactly where they need to be. That's the reason you're there. Charlie Jerk is now exactly where he allegedly should have been. And maybe the rhetoric he was spewing is the reason why he's there. It's a lie, but y'all run around here and praise this. As long as it's against a black person or minority, you're fine with it. But when we can debunk it and show you that it's another white lie to try to maintain white innocence over your historical portrayal of white violence, oh, it's a problem then. It's a problem. The lie should have quit when the internet hit. And with that being said, you know, I am only one half of the Charlie Jerks. You know, the other half of the Charlie Jerks will be returning soon. Thank you for joining our racist kitchen. And I want to give a shout out to a sister. real quick. Let me see if I can find that sister name. I want to give a shout out to a sister real quick, a follower, y'all. She makes sure she comment on every video. She been faithful, y'all. You know what I mean? So I want to start recognizing some people. All right, let me see if I can find this real quick. Let me see if I can find her name. I'm looking for you, sister. Nope, it's not that one. That's the same one I just clicked on. Okay. Here it is. I found it. All right. That sister name is Dunmore Family 6866. Queen, thank you so much for following me. Thank you so much for being active in the comment box. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. You know, I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate anyone of the FBA, anyone of the good white folk community, you know, who stands up, who accepts the truth, you know, and also those who appreciate the truth. All right. So just want to give a shout out to you. I definitely appreciate you. And my bad for saying brother in the comment box. I was driving and I was speaking into the phone and stuff, and I couldn't even really look at the profile. But I went back and straightened it though. My apologies, Queen. My apologies, sister. You beautiful. I can't get you mixed up as a sister. And ain't no shade towards your husband or whatever. You know, I'm just giving you a compliment, Queen. Giving you a compliment. I appreciate you. You know, and this is the part of the video where I tell everybody, you know, get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one with your higher power, man. The real God, not that colonial God, not that King James biblical. Nope, I'm gonna keep saying it until you guys wake up. Here's that part. The Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. The Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. The Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. Constantine, go look it up. Go look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research. Y'all stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected, stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut, be inspired, be great, be you, and don't Don't be like Charlie Jerk running around here telling all these lies. Tell the truth. Because in the end, the truth may hurt. But hell, at least someone cared enough to tell you the truth. If you had something hanging from your nose and you was in public, would you want someone to hide that truth from you and let you walk around hundreds of people with this little visitor hanging out of your nose? Or would you want someone to honestly tell you? If your breath was stank, if your breath smelled like Charlie Kirk's tomb right now, allegedly, would you want somebody to tell you so you can correct that? Or would you want them to hide the truth? Tell me. And I don't think Febreze can help that. Listen, y'all know I have no reason to even care for this guy. All right? No reason to care for this guy. Ashe.